Hey everybody. So this is another kind of early recording. One of these days I'm gonna make a video on like how to get up at 5 a.m. because I think I've now mastered that art. It's taken me years and years of trying, and I think after doing this for almost a month now, I think I've kind of figured out the key to actually getting up in the morning and actually having a sense of clarity, not dealing with that fog and the confusion and like the all the negative brain things that make your writing terrible, but actually waking up early in the morning with actual like engagement in focus. I'll make a video at some point on that because I think for a lot of writers that could be very helpful. I know for me that was the big detriment to ever getting up early. It's just nothing ever sounds good. You're never awake. You're never focused. But today I was very focused. Admittedly, that didn't turn into a lot. This story did not get much further, and it's just one of those things where I'm going to be kind of spinning my wheels probably for the next few days at least, trying to get this thing to work. Yeah, I mean, God, it's the projects that you love that are going to be the ones that you're going to suffer through. It's always going to be that way. Again, I've said on here before, how many times do writing projects ever go smoothly? I can think of a handful, and they've always been short stories, and those ones just pretty much wrote themselves. But most projects are not that way. Man, it's just, it's a challenge. An idea, though, to keep in mind with this as you're going through this process, and if you're struggling, is remember that as a writer, it's a little bit easier than other creative projects. Like, just the logistics of being a writer is far easier. And what I mean by that is, one of the things that I really enjoy is I love watching documentaries about how films are made. Love it, right? You take a big film and just watch a documentary on it. It can be anything, from like Star Wars all the way to like that awesome documentary that came out in the 90s on Apocalypse Now, and all the in between. And what you see in these documentaries is they're always a struggle. These films that get made are always a struggle, and so much of that struggle is because it's a director trying to manage many different logistical things at one time. Again, any documentary on filmmaking, and that's pretty much what you'll come away with seeing, right? Like, pick a popular movie, see a documentary behind it, and that's what the challenge is. It's logistics. It's trying to manage, the weather for outdoor shots, mixed in with obviously the actors, getting the budget, getting the funding, all the way to like getting the story written, rewriting the script, actors coming in, actors dropping out, infighting, different departments not working together, running out of money, all these different logistical problems that contribute to making these stories, these documentaries really engaging, and these movies really difficult to make. With writers, this is the luxury. It is just us, and there isn't really any overhead outside of your time. With a pad and paper, or pad and pencil, you can sit there and you can write a whole novel. All right, you're gonna want to type it up obviously eventually, but that if you had no money at all, you could go to a library computer and do that. Right? There's no logistics. There's no other people to coordinate with. There's no one you have to work with. It is you, and that's the lucky thing. That is the one good thing about being an author is it's you. Now, here's the downside. It's you. There's no team. There's no experts in sound that can come in there and add this awesome sound to your movie. There's no costume designer that can come in and add these awesome, amazing costumes to make your things really vibrant. Right? There's no screenwriter to write your script. There is no special effects people to come in and add these cool action scenes to make your story seem, this very huge, magnanimous sort of project, right? It's you. You are your own thing. the thing you need to rely on, really, right? And that's where the challenge is. With writing, we take the good with the bad. You have to take reality as it is, and that's what it is. I love the trade-off. I often love the trade-off, despite how anguishing it can be. And for any project you do in life, you're going to be going through anguish. You sort of pick a torture that gives you a little bit of satisfaction. It's kind of a masochistic way of saying it, I guess. But you pick the thing that you hate doing that gives you at least a little bit of joy, right? You might hate writing, you might hate the process of putting down the prose, but do you get joy in completing it? Do you get joy in the certain small aspects of it? I hope you do. And if you do, that's why we keep going back to this thing. It's a challenge. And so hopefully here in the next few weeks, I'll have these first chapters, redone, retooled up, because this is getting ready to be sent off again. We are pushing forward this thing to get resent off. We are requerying it. Next year is going to be all about putting my effort into getting these things out there. I've spent a lot of time sharpening the saw, a lot of time practicing the craft, which is awesome. But there's another side to this process, and it's getting it out there. It's finding somebody to take this project and sort of take it to the masses. And so the story's getting retooled for it. We're getting prepared for it. And with only one project on my mind, I'm hoping this gets done by the end of the year, and it's just immaculate. So we will see.